Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, Guile here, and welcome back to the Forged Alliance Forever promotional series. It's custom 5v5 action this afternoon, exciting stuff, but first of all, a quick message coming in from me. Lots of people still asking me how to submit a replay for consideration to be casted. I'm not going to tell you how to do it because it's very simple. You go to the description below this in each and every one of my videos. At the bottom there, that will tell you what you have to do. You just have to get that replay ID to me, that number, and I can do the rest. And while we're talking about people who really should know better by now, it's Average Joe's day today here at Guilecast. I can be rude because they're my brethren, my kin. I am very much one of them. And it's going to go down on a brand new map, Hallnac. Super exciting. I'm ready. You guys are ready, and the players are sure as hell ready. So let's go over to the game zone and see how they're going to get on. Ching, ka-ching. Ugh. There's no other way to respond to that. Ugh. It really is Yoda's first poo of the day after a heavy night on the beetle beer. It's horrendous, but there he is. We'll call this Team 1 up here at the top. This Team 2 down here at the bottom. Going first for Team 1 up here at the top left. It is Dr. Nostradamus. Very dramatic. There he is. He's going UEF in Ferrari Red, opening first land. Team member number 2, it's Chili Piz Drink. Very nice. That's great, and it's just bumped the language level for the content that I now have to select for the YouTube monetization. So thanks for that, Chili Piz Drink, and he is going Seraphim in Breast Cancer Awareness Pink, opening first land. Team member number 3 up here in Pontiff White, it's Freedom! Freedom! Yes, that's my George Michael impression. Deal with it. And he's going UEF, opening first land. Team member number 4 in Combat Green down here, it's Magnabear. Magnabear, I like the sound of that. Magnabear going UEF, opening first land. And last but not least, up here in Dijon Yellow, it's Agamo. I think it's Agemo? Agamo? I'm going to call him Agamo. Agamo. Here he is anyway. He's going Cyber and Bless him, opening first land. So what have we got there for Team 1? It's a 3 UEF, a Cybrin and a Seraphim there for Team 1. Team 2 will slow us down a bit because units are already popping out. We don't want to miss any of the action. Down here at the bottom bottom right, sorry, first of all. It's all over the place today. It's Andrew. How very normal. That's so very vanilla. I like it. Andrew Vijok. We'll call him Andrew today. He's going Seraphim and going Baby Blue, opening first land. Next up, team member number 2 for Team 2, Electric Foot. Interesting. Going UEF, opening first and second land. Next up down here, none other than my good friend Chosen, who really should be a pro, but he's slipped down to 1400. But for me, I consider him a pro. There he is. Going Seraphim in his customary mellow yellow, opening first land, going, well, he's got, I don't know, he's got an air factory in there at some point. Anyway, team member number 4 on his way towards the middle, it's Berserks. He's going UEF in Baby Pink, open first land, and last but not least, it's Erectatron. And that's the way you have to say that, Erectatron. And he's going Hallyborange Orange, UEF, opening first land, going second air. And even with slowing it down, the Selens jumping the gun. And that's going to be a win there for Chili, who somehow comes out of that with almost half his health on that Selen. So good micro presumably went down there for him. Quick mention about the map, actually. I speeded it up. So we've got these 5 channels of approach, essentially, 1 on each side, and then 3 in the center. Then this middle one kind of goes at a very odd angle. It's not a finished map, apparently, so if you see some glitching, tearing in the decals and what have you, that is why. Chosen sent me this one earlier, first time this has been done. What is that? Does that have some special Cyber network node? Just wondering if that creates any weird, it's not one of those shard things that creates weird radar signatures. No, apparently not. It's probably just something that can be reclaimed. But anyway, so it is a brand new map, so if it's not completely finished, there's some weird graphical errors here and there. Don't hold it against me, ladies and gentlemen. I merely selected the replay. I didn't do anything else, but that's just the way it is. We've also got some random neutral civilian tactical missile defense up on the plateau there. That's the most random thing I've ever seen. It's just one on each side that, I don't know, potentially could cause some problems, but yet it's almost too far back. I mean, the missile would have to take kind of this trajectory to get shot down by it. So very bizarre. Yeah, there'll be some method, I suppose, to that madness. I just can't for the life of me work out what it is. And there's lots of reclaim dotted around, of course. If we go to that, you can get a look on what it looks like dotted around the rocks in the center, but not vast numbers. You've got some larger numbers deposits down here, 150 there a piece, and some 75s, so the big rocks. And of course some wrecks down here which are worth even more, 389 a piece for those, so that's pretty valuable. But all in all, nothing too crazy. Bomber going across the field there from Chosen. I actually have to hover over it because I can't tell on the colour because it's such a greeny yellow map. It's like, is that going to be yellow or is that going to be green? My eyes can't differentiate against the backdrop. But anyway, that doesn't go anywhere. On its way towards Freedom, and Freedom is quick off the ball with his interceptors and shoots that puppy down before his base comes under attack, so good quality defense there. We've got some point defense going up over in the west. Some engineers made their way to that little group of 3 mexes there. Are going to set up shop in the face of Dr. Nostradamus, who is moving forward himself. We've got a little position there set up for him, a little radar post with 4 P-gens to assist it. Some engineers no doubt coming forward for those little crystal reclaim bits over there. Magna Bear spots an engineer that was busy trying to scoop up. Is that a wreck? That's a wreck, I think. Let me see. I can't actually see that. Well, I'm not actually getting a read on it. Maybe it's because it started to be reclaimed and so it doesn't show up now. Should be one over here, maybe. There we go. So 310 and 117 to wrecks in those lakes over there. But it's what's so busy on the eye. Do you know what I mean? It's like really hard to differentiate what's going on and where. Chile getting a bomb to the face there from a Rectatron who's circling overhead. Chile very far forward indeed. He's come all the way down here and has actually passed Chosen, who's come up in the opposite direction. So these guys on opposite sides of one another. Chosen rolling forward, going to pick up that Mex and presumably throw down that land factory right next to it. Chile still under aerial bombardment there from a Rectatron who's circling, although that looks like it's about to get shot down as Freedom locks onto that with his interceptors. Chosen dispatching engineers to some of the plateaus. Needs to be a little bit careful and wary of those inties that have locked onto him again. Probably wants to offload those engineers before he gets shot down, although Chosen has turned up with 3 of his own escort interceptors. Can he clear the way? No, because another one's turned up. Oh, and what was that? 3 or 4 engineers on board that went down with that transport. Ouch. That is a painful lesson right there off the bat. Spam rolling forward, meanwhile, just east of center for Electric Foot's going to run into some resistance there from Magna Bear, who's kind of just holding the fort in the middle. Are those little geysers? Those are geysers. Yeah, they are not reclaimable. So they're just perpetually spewing out gas, as you would expect to see from Yoda's alcohol poo. Chosen rolls forward, picks up a couple of units belonging to Chile, who's taken a bit of a battering, I'm guessing, from that T1 bomber attack there from a Rectatron. Is going to back up, which is probably a sensible move. Chosen also dips down into the yellow after that exchange. 7,700 hit points there. Let's check in on state of affairs over on the left. So Nostradamus has set up 3 land factories on the edge and is happily spewing out tanks. And those tanks are going to get the drop on some Lobos there who'd move forward for a Rectatron. A Rectatron with 4 land factories over in the left-hand side. The western approaches and a couple of T1 PDs to help lock that down. Andrew has moved pretty far forward up to that group of 3 mexes over there. What have we got on the ground? Agmo moving forward. So Andrew is a 900 and Agmo is a 1200. So expect that to be an area of resistance from Team 2's perspective. Over on the other side, of course, a Rectatron's a 1400 and Nostradamus is a 700. So expect some kind of wheeling action to go on if the game follows the patterns you would expect based on players' global ranking. Bursex has joined Chosen just to the west of center. Chosen's actually lost that forward land factory, I'm guessing to some of the Zooies in the mix up here from Berserks. Not Berserk, sorry, Chile. It's the trouble when you've got two pinks lined up next to one another. T2 upgrade on the way for Magnabear. It's going to help him lock down that area. Interceptors lurking near the middle as well. Got some T1 bombers kicking around for Chosen here and back at base. And he's already transitioned to T2 air, but he's not going for any fancy Notha fighter bombers or gunships. He's working on a transport at the moment. 33% done. We're going for some crazy Chosen drop with his comm. Well, ill-advisable at the moment. No upgrades and badly damaged, down to about 40% of his health. So probably not a great idea there. But Erectatron on the move, meanwhile, in the west, rolls straight up to this spam and just starts laying into it. He's got the Zephamp gun upgrade on board, whereas Nostradamus, currently rocking an unupgraded commander, needs to be very careful here. Erectatron's got a lot more spam than him, and he's got that extra damage. One overextension or loss of concentration, and Nostradamus could find himself well and truly surrounded. I think he knows it too. He's going to start backing up as Erectatron moves forward with his spam now. Lots of interceptors circling overhead, making sure the skies are kept clean from potential aircraft that might come in to rescue Nostradamus, who's down to about 50% health now, absorbing some overcharges as well as Erectatron moves forward. Nostradamus in a real pretty pickle here as Erectatron continuing to move forward. There's an awful lot of Lobos as well, down to 100 hit points, and he's gone inside 10 minutes. Team 1, the first player to lose a player, and it's their second lowest rated player, Dr. Nostradamus, at 700 global ranking points. Now, where does Erectatron go from now? He's not going to carry on pushing forward by the looks of things. He's going to withdraw. Chile has moved in, trying to get in behind him to assist his deceased teammates and cut Erectatron off, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen, although Chosen looks like he's in trouble here. Down into the red, 2,300 hit points, and seemingly with no backup other than Berserks, no ground support that's going to come in to rescue him. He's going to go down in short order following Dr. Nostradamus. Down he goes. And Chile, with that gun upgrade, with no signs of relenting, carry on to pursue Berserks. He does turn around in the end to face Erectatron. Doesn't want to overextend here. Remember, Erectatron's got a gun upgrade as well. Comms looking like they might be falling thick and fast here inside the first opening 15 minutes of this one. Chile gets a ranking upgrade, which gives him a brief reprieve. Erectatron continues to advance though, and that veterancy rank didn't last long. He's down into the red, 2,300 hit points, sub 2,000 now, sub 1,000, and seemingly nowhere to go. Chile bows out as well. So just when he'd evened up the match, a minute or so later, and down he goes, and then suddenly there was silence. Team 1 down 2, Team 2 down 1, but it's an 1,100 and a 700 for a 1,400. So it's still anybody's game at this point. You'll notice that full share's not on, so no fairies have to dive today, thankfully. It's been a veritable fairy genocide of late here at Guilecast. Agmo advancing. Andrew dropping back. He's down to 7,600. Agmo more comfortably in the green at 9,500. And he's got a gun upgrade as well. At this point he's just getting fed spam. It's coming in small numbers. Just asking for more ranks in veterancy. Electric Foot's position under threat now. He's constructed a TAC missile launcher and assisted it to get the first one out. He works on a T2 point defense. Probably should have gone with a T1 with the amount of spam that's rolling in. But by the looks of things, Magna Bear thinks better of it and rolls back to his shielded position over here. Lots of pressure being brought to bear to the east of that, meanwhile, as Mantis and Hoplites roll forward. We do have a couple of T1 PDs over here that have been cutting their way through this assaulting force. Andrew dropped right back over here to work on a T1 PD, a bank of them in fact. It's been interrupted though and has to finish off the spam personally. Meanwhile, what's been going on back here? A Janus belonging to Erectatron has been going to town on this side base up here for Freedom. Freedom, who moved into Dr. Nostradamus' old base and has set up a lot of T1 land factories just in the hope of trying to keep Erectatron at bay. Erectatron airdropping some engineers to scoop some of these land factories previously belonging to Chile. It's a large group of T1 units belonging to Berserks. Magna Bear, concerned about that, has pulled his comm away from the base and moving to intercept. Freedom has a position over here. One active point defense, another one under construction. That should be enough to stall this attack, along with the few units that he's got. That second one about to go online. T1 bomber in overhead will certainly help. It doesn't last long though. And the artillery, very much still alive, ruins those defenses, but it's a little bit late. The sting has already been taken out of that attack. Back over here in the east, Andrew trying to stifle this constant pressure. He's working on a T2 upgrade now, 70% done there. No doubt try and throw down some point defense. Agmo with upgraded gun and stealth now, utilizing it to good effect, picking off those mongoose from Electric Foot. We never actually mentioned game quality of this game was at 92%. It was 1060 versus 1040, so we're comfortable with the game balance, or as it was at start at any rate. Will have shifted somewhat now with the departures of 3 players. Back over here on the west, that's a very large platoon of pillars marching their way down the edge of the map, and some T1 bombers in over the top strike the plateau on the entry to what was Dr. Nostradamus' old base. But hello, we've got Wasps on the field for Freedom, highest rated player for Team 1, and our only true pro at 1700 rolls in and blasts those bombers before they get a chance to do too much damage. Pillars now right at the front of what was Nostradamus' old base. It's been moved into, as we've said, from Freedom. That expansion very typical of a player of his rating. Not wasting any time. But this pressure up the western approach, absolutely crucial. Look how it has drawn all of these units away from the middle. Pressure being lifted away from Berserks there and Electric Foot. Everything now drifting to contain this threat up at the top left-hand corner of the screen. Freedom desperately wants to hold on to these production facilities, and I think he probably will by the looks of things. Yes, these are shielded forces, but shields partially depleted. There's a lot of spam moving in this direction, and a lot of these units moving in from Magna Bear are actually T2. should be able to punch through that shield and finish off those last few Tech 2 units there for Erectatron. So we got the T2 upgrade completed over here for Andrew. He threw down a shield and a point defense and some flak immediately. Will he advance? Certainly advancing with some of his T1 spam. That's probably not going to get an awful lot done with that commander sitting there. That's just feeding him. No joy there for Andrew. Definitely not an ideal play. Not only are they outmatched against the commander, there's a lot of rhinos in here as well, just tearing through those Zuis. If he was going to move up and do that, his best bet would be to at least move up with the commander and use the distraction to throw down some point defense behind it and maybe grab some territory out of it. So that move from Erectatron finally petering out. He's got some ASFs of his own back here, some Wasps. And now a counter advance from Freedom and Magnabear. Magnabear looking a little bit nasty actually with these T2 units in the west and in the middle. But his front line getting harassed by flapjacks. Nothing worse than getting harassed by a flapjack. All of their OT goodness. But oh, check it out, Agamo getting some pressure from Andrew. We've been giving him crap about his tactics, but you know what? He's going to come up smelling of roses if this works, and it looks like it just might, although he's running out of aircraft. There's a lot of flak in here. Agmo down to just a couple less than, in fact, 1,300 hit points, but the Corsairs from Agmo turn up and save the commander in the nick of time. Very unfortunate for Andrew, nearly played a blinder there, just didn't quite have enough aircraft, and the micro was really, really good from Agmo. Onward goes the pressure down the western approaches from Team 1. We have a single badly damaged point defense left in here and some mongoose. These factories all working on pumping out more T2 units, but it's not looking great for that forward position. Now, Bursix comes in to relieve him. Reinforcements taking pot shots at Magnabear's position on the way, but that is enough to force Freedom to consolidate a little bit further back. Flapjacks slowly eating their way through the base defenses over here. Buzzkill struggling to keep up. There are a lot of mobile missile launchers down here. That's a new issue for Magnabear to deal with. And after that engagement, Agmo wisely moving his commander back. That was not a good exchange for him. That nearly went very badly indeed. On the plus though, he does have decent amounts of T2 forces and some T3 forces. A couple of Bernie Sanders here, some loyalists chomping their way through these forces here and then withdrawing. And Andrew, not looking to overextend, just play it cool, has thrown down artillery pieces to give himself as much breathing space as possible. Meanwhile, back in the middle, things kicking off royally between Magnabear and Electric Foot. I guess Magnabear finally had enough of all that flapjack spam. A little bit too late though. He's lost all of his tactical missile defense already. He's getting some assistance from Agmo here. In come the Bernies, stomping their way through that unit pile. Rhinos coming in from the east as well. Where is Electric Foot's commander? Well, it's under shield coverage over here. he got on that thing? He's only got the T2 engineering suite. He might have to pull that commander out. Well, actually, maybe not. The attack's kind of petering out. Andrew rolling in with some Zooies in behind. But another big push over in the west. Could this position finally be overrun? We've got... Oh, is that Percy's? We've got Percy's being continental dropped into the fray over here. That will change things up with their massive alpha strike. Freedom doesn't like the look of that and going to back up once again. Team 1 failed to take this position. What attack is that now? Attack 3, 4. And Bersik's bearing down on Magnabear, who's retreated up towards his main base now. There's a lot of Mongoose firepower in here. We've even got a couple of Percys as well, who are in range of Magnabear, who takes a couple of hits. We've also got some broadswords out from Freedom, assisting with a cleanup operation from the air. But Magnabear's going to run out of hit points long before they can kill the inbound forces. And down goes another player for Team 1, leaving just Agmo and Freedom all by their lonesome. And worse yet, there are still a couple of Percys, 3 in fact, on the ground, moving in towards Agmo, who bravely moves his comm out to try and stifle this attack once and for all. Down goes one Percy, 2 remaining. Agmo takes a couple of big hits. Down goes another Percy. Agmo takes another hit. And just one pillar remains. Oh, but there's more forces inbound from Electric Foot, but I don't think they're going to be able to deal with it. It's just T2. Not going to be able to deal the killing blow here and now, I don't think. Although Agmo goes into the red, takes a volley of pillar fire, down to 2,800 HP. Some clutch plays here to stay in it, but this is looking bad for Team 1 now at 23 minutes. Frontline crumbling. And look at this counter push. Shielded Percys and pillars moving in down the western approach once again. And they're facing off against Titans. More numerous perhaps, but less powerful. We do have a couple of Percys rolling in the backfield though. Freedom with 3 T3 factories, one of which is the HQ now, up in this top left-hand corner, and he's got his comm there also. I don't think Erectotron's going to be able to punch his way through with what he's got. But the amount of ground that they've now given Team 1 with the demise now of Magnabear, surely we'll see Berserks and Electric Foot move up and start putting pressure on the main bases. I would imagine this is a major power vacuum right now. One thing that's holding the area together are these broadswords. We've even got some air staging facilities to rep them up and keep them refueled. This is a lovely unit comp. Look at that formation rolling in. Lots of power shields. Meanwhile, Freedom having power issues, his base shields fluctuating on and off, but they have got a Ravager, and that will help masses. Certainly do with more than one though. Formation loses cohesion. The power shields shielding Erectotron's forces start to power down as they are overwhelmed. Freedom moving away with his commander. I think they've got the firepower to contain this. Ravager unloading at range. There's another Ravager back here as well. Look at the range on those bad boys. Beautiful, beautiful pieces of kit. And indeed, Erectotron is going to back up. And in a rare sight of what's been a rare sight throughout this game, forward progress for Andrew, along with Electric Foot down the eastern approach. However, a brick or two lying in wait to try and impede their progress. One dealt with. One Percival goes down in tandem. There have been Gunthers going up down here. He'd love to deal with those. Take out that shield as well. Turns to pick off an ASF that lands in a ill-advised place. Andrew moves up to join him. Meanwhile, checking back in on over here. Erectatron tried to push up down that other approach of the left of center, but gets horrible resistance from those gunships, which are covering all of this position right now. Haven't had a chance to talk much about Eco. Team 2 way up on Eco. 638 versus 517. Generated Eco. Freedom on 300 odds, 400 odds. 266 generated Eco, not including reclaim. 232 for Agmo. Erectatron, highest rated player on the other side, is at like 300. But this forward base over here for Agmo could be about to go down. Had some gunships move in to try and assist, but there are skyboxers in the mix here for Team 2. And now that there are Percys with a free reign to wail on these land factories, I think this position is down and out, leaving Agmo just on the main base over here. He's pulling his commander to try and deal with it, and he's working on a crab that's quite far through development. It's about 2/3 done. Quick overcharge deals a killing blow to a couple of Percys that were standing too close together. Commander rolling forward, doesn't want to give up this position, or it's 3 mass points. I don't blame him. Gunships out to the back to deal with the rogue Zoes from Andrew that have made their way into the backfield. But still, these broadswords roaming unchecked. This air's a real problem for Team 2. Erectatron does have some ASFs down here. Looks like he's the only one handling air production, but he's way off the tempo compared to Freedom, who's got a lot of ASFs over here, and these broadswords just don't seem to be getting countered right now. That could be about to change with the emergence of some Cougars rolling in, some mobile T3 anti-air. Should stick around to kill those off, really. Get all the broadswords in together, and you definitely dish out a lot more damage than you receive in that scenario. And then it all went a little bit quiet. Almost 30 minutes gone. Experimental completes from Agmo. That megalith, sorry, could be an absolute game changer if it's applied in the right position. Where is he going with it? Moving to here for the time being. It'll either be Berserks or Electric Foot, the likely recipients of its aggression. Oh, and a Continental fully laden with Percivals. Airdropping right to the middle of that valley. Andrew continuing to push forward with T1 spam. Not likely to get any real progress there, running into bricks and whatnot from Agmo. Erectatron still testing the front line, but he's now running into Ravager fire. There's 2 of them under shield coverage back here, rapidly becoming a unassailable position with these units. Certainly doesn't want to sit there and just take it, but we've got another airdrop inbound. Looks like they're going straight after Freedom's comm. Where's the Air Force? Well, there it is. It's nearby. Can they get the kill in time? Oh! Are any of them going to survive? Yes, they do, mostly, but get annihilated straight away from Freedom, who's lying in wait with his commander and overcharges. Essentially a snipe attempt that's gone horribly wrong. But where's the nuke come from? Erectatron's been working on that quietly at the back of the map for some time, and out comes the GG from Freedom. He's not even going to bother moving his commander. There certainly isn't any nuke defense that I can see in the area, and that surely will be game. Agmo, beaten and battered, isn't going to stand up to the rest of Team 2. 4 players still comfortably in the game. Down goes Freedom. Down goes those pesky broadswords that have been such an issue That Megalith has rolled forward though and killed everything in the valley. 27 kills so far. Agmo needs to roll in and try and get Electric Foot if he can. What's he going to be marching through here? We've got a bunch of triads up front. We've got a whole bunch of artillery back here, and Electric Foot working on more as we speak. That's potentially quite a lot of damage, but if he rolls straight in and doesn't hang about, could get some work done. Bricks over in the east getting mobbed again by T1 spam, which should actually be slightly more effective now, although there's a lot more bricks coming in behind them. Bursix with tons of Percivals and Titans moving in around behind the Megalith. I'm wondering whether they're going to go on base defense or whether they're going to go on the offensive up here. We have another experimental though for them to worry about, a Monkey Lord that's rolled out from the main base of Agmo. And of course, Erectatron advancing straight up to that top left corner, which he's been working so hard to grab all game. Electric Foot has vacated that forward position, moving back to the main base now, as the Megalith just now dipping into the yellow. 84,000 hit points still on board. Couple of gunships supplied by Andrew come in to assist. We've got T1 bombers as well from Electric Foot working on that Megalith, trying to whittle it down. Electric Foot well out of dodge though. This is a mistake. He shouldn't have stopped. If he'd have carried on moving forward, he might have been able to get a kill here at the very least. All of that spam meanwhile in the middle, lining up on that Monkey Lord, which is just going to get Percival to death. Look at that. Down it goes. How's the Megalith doing? That's still got about a third of its HP, but still with no way to deal with this air pressure now that Freedom is out of the game. And the ASFs are off the field for Team 1. One broadsword from Erectatron. No doubt doing two broadswords now. No doubt doing much more damage than all of these bombers put together. Megalith into the red, but Electric Foot safely away over here to join Andrew's base. He's going to lose his power generators, most of his core mass, no doubt. But really, it's all academic, I think, at this point, as you look on the mini-map and see Bursix and indeed Erectatron advancing on the main base. Down goes the Megalith, and then we home in on what will be the final stand, which won't be very long, with strap bombers flying overhead there from Bursix. Couple absorbed by Agmo. He is going to move for the shield though. 4,000 hit points left. He'll make it inside shield coverage. The two strap bombers are still alive. They get the bombs off, they get shot down, but a nuke comes out and Bursix moving in on the ground. Agmo is not longed for this world. His shields collapse, and the nuke isn't even going to get there. Boom, baby! Bursix lands the final killing blow, and the game's wrapped up just inside 35 minutes. Well, I hope you enjoyed it, guys. There's always more to come from me in the future. And don't forget, if you've seen everything, do check out the Patreon. It's a mere $1 a month. What is that? That is chicken feed. Probably not even chicken feed in this day and age, or anywhere close to it. We put an Epic Setons up on that yesterday, so if Epic Setons matches is your bag, there's a fresh one there for premium viewing just waiting for you. Please go and check it out. All support very graciously and gratefully received, guys. But until next time, this is Guile, signing out.